Joe hung up our wood burners. Did you know that for us, every day of our life is an experiment to us? He knows what's going to happen, but we wake up and we just go through our day, and it's an experiment as to whether we can get through it or not without going bonkers. Gotcha, didn't I? My experiment today is, can I relax or can I shut off the ideas running through my brain? This is one of those big idea days, you know. I see something and I want to try it. Or I see something and I get an idea and I want to try that. Like the whole fiberglass thing. Got a sheet of fiberglass about this big wide, about this thick. And what I'm wondering is if the wood burner would work on it. No way you know them but to try it. But what kind of fumes will it put off? What kind of burning will it do? It'll melt it, I'm sure. It's a thought, and that's all it is right now. Yeah. Oh.
The streets is blowing.
It's blowing the leaves that way.
Yeah, I need to move my van so the leaves will blow.
On down the street.
The street sweeper came by this morning. I was in the garage putting a piece of tape on the ceiling of my...
I thought you put the van back in the backyard.
I just did that for Halloween. That way it'd be an open street.
Oh. So you weren't worried about somebody trying to mess it up or steal it? Well, how can you mess up a mess?
Yeah.
They might have actually done it some good if they put some spray paint on it.
Yeah.
But the thing works. And it's like an old tractor. It just works, and it just hauls things where we need it to go. Because it's got a hitch. And in town, we don't have a tractor. And right now we don't have a pickup, but that thing's built like a pickup.
Well, I pulled a trailer.
And it pulls a trailer.
I took 2 loads of leaves down Saturday.
Wow.
Now the yard's full again.
There were that many leaves to fill up that trailer?
Yeah.
Or some of it sticks?
Some of it was Patty's yard.
You know, if you have enough duct tape or that, that seam tape they keep advertising on, you could make that garage last forever.
I put some tape on the ceiling this morning.
Did you?
Got my ladder in.
But I mean, over the years, you see a little rip, you just tape it, and pretty soon, it's all tape.
Oh, man.
Talking about that
Portable
garage out here. Well, there's going to be a time when we're probably going to have to start looking into a different vehicle, or a newer vehicle, because it's giving some trouble quite a bit this last summer. Spent quite a bit of money on it. Most of it was experimenting to try and figure out what was wrong.
I spent a couple $1,000 on it.
Yep.
$1,400 was labor.
Yep. School's out.
Yeah. I know. Ambition with it's windy like this.
Nah, it's changing seasons, kind of
Well, I'd go out and
wrecks
scrape.
the ambition a
You
little.
go out and scrape something above you, you're getting all that stuff blowing in your face and in your eyes.
Yeah.
It's not so windy. You just see your deals up and up.
Yes, I showed them off. They didn't get to see the big old cow though.
Well, you take it out there and show it.
Yes, you can, and that's why I said it. He's going to show you our cow.
Here we go. I'm going to show you the cow. go. There's our cow. Says the Fralins on it. Okay. That's it.
How is your experiment today going?
Huh?
I was saying, God knows what's going to happen, but for us every day is an experiment.
Oh, yeah.
So how's yours going so far?
Good. Yes.
He's a good experiment. Been a good experiment for me for a while. Marriage is not an experiment. It's something you work out. Well, it is in a way, but
Good job. You got to work at it.
yeah. But by our age, hopefully you've got most of it worked out.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't still have some times, but I only yell at him about once a day.
Yep.
When was the last time I yelled?
When you're on the phone and I walk out.
That is a good one. Somebody will call, they'll ask for Joe, I'll cover it up and say, Joe! He's nowhere to be found. Yes, I do yell at him. I'm trying to find him. So then I'm out the back door, hollering, Joe! Most of the time he's in his garage. Sometimes he's not, and I'll hear this little, what, from the front yard. Yeah, humor is a good relaxation tool too. It's loud, but it's good to relax.
How about I go get the keys to the van and drive it up in the driveway or something?
Well, go be my guest. You're not my. You can do what you want, unless I tell you different.
I was going to have you do it.
I do still have my driver's license, but you'd be out there trying to tell me everything I did wrong. So just go do it.
No. I'll get rid of them eventually. Halloween people? No. Yes, ma'am.
Get rid of what eventually?
The leaves.
Oh. I thought you meant the van. I thought that's the one thing we've depended on for 30 years.
No, not 30. We bought it in 99.
Okay, how many years?
Almost 23 years. Almost 24 years.
Oh, okay, I gave it the wrong birthday.
Yeah.
That's right, it was 20 years in. Because we bought it in what?
January of 99.
Oh, okay, but it was built in
92.
92, which makes it,
It was 7 years old when we bought it.
makes it how old?
It'll be 31 years old.
So it's 30
It's
years
30
old.
It's 30 years old.
I got
You
it.
was adding a 7. I wasn't adding a 7. I was adding the time that we had.
Well, in our lives, yeah, it's been, but it is 30 years old. See, this is the kind of arguing that
She got a weird way of thinking sometimes.
I intentionally have a weird way of thinking sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not intentional.
Sometimes it's just a confused
Evening, who knows? They were talking,
later today.
yeah, and they were talking what? Rain and snow mix, and it's like,
I didn't hear that.
that was last night, I think.
A chance of rain.
That was last night, because I didn't wake up
Yeah,
until,
that thing spins.
yeah, it's really going. The wind's
Disappointing.
got it.
It's disappointing. Well, I'm glad I didn't put that over there, because we wouldn't have got the south wind.
No, and it's really going. It's got a good south wind on it right now. Well, that tree would have blocked it and everything else.
There was a little blonde-haired girl came trick-or-treating. She says, "We drive by your house every day, from school on a school bus.
Aw, that's cute. That's sweet.
A couple little girls says, "I like your house." I don't know if they was talking about the pumpkins or what the deal was. But I like your house.
They probably just like my house, or like our house. You did a lot of work on it. If they're from the area, they've probably seen the changes. But they were probably talking about, the only decorations we had were 2 light up pumpkins that we put out every
I
year.
had them in the windows so they could see.
I have these funny dreams. And sometimes I actually wake up and look for the person who's talking to me.
Yep, it's a ghost. It's a ghost.
It still gets me about Felicia. I don't know if she was disguising her voice.
No, it was a mask.
Yeah, that mask was totally covering her face. Everything else was covered. She had that hoodie on. Do you know who I am?
No.
No idea. Lifts up the mask and it's our granddaughter. She evidently had been fooling people with it that evening because she knew she had us. Anyway, there was a younger gal with her. I think she was probably being kind of an escort for her so that she didn't have to be alone. Actually, there's a lot of older kids that still trick or treat. Did you have the bunches, or the groups?
Oh, I think the biggest group was maybe 6 or 7 kids. But not like it was last year. Man, I'd come in
But what time did you turn off the light?
8:45.
Well, that isn't so late.
Because I didn't have nothing.
I wonder if they didn't get a lot of theirs after that Halloween thing closed down.
Well, there's like a
Haunted
haunted
house.
house or someplace, a church or something. I don't know what it is.
Oh, we used to do that at church. We used to make, up in Beatrice, we used to make it into a haunted house. And the one year, I had Angie in a room. She'd jump out and cackle, because she has a cackle. I mean, she has to put it on, but she just has the best cackle. So,
Like a witch's cackle.
yeah. And so she'd pop out and cackle at him. And, but it was pretty cool. That's back when Mason was here.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Had a bowl of grapes so they could feel them through the eyeballs.
And spaghetti guts.
Yeah.
Was that at the church one, or was that at the one we had at that house in Beatrice? We had our first house that we owned in Beatrice. It was a corner. It sat on a corner. And so there weren't really very many people we could bother. But we decided to have all of our friends and their kids, which was considerable amount, over for a Halloween party. And Joe built a coffin for my sister to stand up in, and she was dressed like Vampira. And she would step out of that coffin and grab them. She was the first one. And we had this one room, we had it lined with blankets to hide everything else that was in there. And so, we did a job of it. And then there was the guts and guts and eyeballs and all of that. And the biggest one was when they went around the corner. Who was playing the surgeon? Anyway, I don't remember what we used, if we just used something with pork ketchup on it or what. But our brother-in-law was laying on a table like he was being sawed. And we had some kind of, something that looked like blood Maybe it was fake blood. They do make fake blood. Love you all. Smile and wave, and there's yours.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
He's such a nut. We'll see you tomorrow.